Where do we begin?
Good morning, welcome back. It is finally time to build the bed.
Okay, so the bed design, how I'm going to do it. I had a look around to see if I could find anybody else that had done it before, and whilst there was a few people that have, there wasn't very much in the way of how they've done it. So I took what I can from that, and then I've looked at what we actually need, what ours needs to do, and I've come up with a plan. So I've got some riv nuts, some bolts, some tie down straps, tie down brackets from the Vivaro, and some aluminium U-channel. And then in there, this is going to go on each corner, bolted to the van, and then there's going to be 12mm ply in the ends, which is going to be the end of the bed frame, and that's the part that's going to move up and down. So I'm not 100% this is going to work. I'm pretty sure, but obviously because I can't copy what anybody's done, or I haven't done it before, I'm just going to have to learn as we go, basically. So hopefully, if it does work, it may help somebody else out with some ideas, or even a direct copy if that's what they wanted to do. So fingers crossed, we don't come up against too many obstacles. No doubt we will, but we'll figure that out as we go along. And yeah, let's just get cracking and see how it goes. What's the worst that can happen? I need to figure out where the holes need to be. This one here is already in. There's already a mounting point there, so that's going to be where I'll start from, this corner. Same on the other side. So I need to figure out where I need to drill a hole in the top so that I can mount the bottom one. The top kind of has to be done first, because I don't know if you can see that from the camera, but there's a gap between where it's going to mount flush on the top and where it's going to bolt to at the back. So the top hole needs to kind of be done first, but I just need to make sure that it's in line. Now, obviously, using the spirit level in the van is not the greatest of ideas, because if the van's not level, if we're on a slope, for example, this isn't going to be level. But I think the van is pretty level both ways, so I think we're all right. Just going to go for it. So to use this, all you do is thread that on there like that, and then you push this through the hole, and then close it. Noise optional. There you go. Now you've got a bolt. Right, I've drilled the hole in now. So the back hole is 8.5mm, because I've got a 8mm thread, so that goes through there perfectly. The front hole is because I'm mounting it sideways, I need to be able to get the bolt through, and obviously the head is bigger, so that will allow that to slot in when I'm bolting it on. These bolts will also, when they've got a washer and things like that, they will act as the stop to stop the wood from going up too high, and obviously the one at the bottom will be stopping it from going down too low. Test fit, the bolt in there. It'd be much easier if my camera stand battery wasn't dead. Yeah, that's fine, that's in there. So that will bolt up to there. It's a little bit too high, so I'm gonna have to just shave a bit off the edge of that. It's not the end of the world. But then yeah, once I've done that and got that in the right position, I'll mark out where the bottom hole goes and then drill that as well. And to get the location of where I need to drill it for the bottom, I have put this bolt in kind of just up to where it kind of naturally sits, and then I've got the spirit level on it to make sure that it's as level as I can kind of get it, and then I've drawn around where the bolt's going to go. So all I need to do is mark the dead center of that now, and then drill it through with the 8.5mm drill bit. So there's the first rail on then. So as you can see, it's flush at the top, but at the bottom there's a gap. So I'm going to make some spaces there to go in that one out of plywood. I'm just going to glue it together, and then I've got washers for each end to strengthen it. But that will mean that it's level. It's important that it's level because then obviously the bed is a rectangle, so the bed's not going to be able to get longer and shorter as you raise it up and down. So those rails have to be level with each other more than anything else. Doesn't matter if it's level with the van or anything like that, as long as they're all level with each other. So it's the same process for all the rest, so I won't go into detail of all of those, but yeah, drill a hole in the top for the top rib nut. The bottom rib nut is already there, and repeat the process for all four corners. Good morning, it is Sunday now. So yesterday we got all of the guide rails in, and today we started working on the spacer for the back. So we figured out what size we need, cut them all out, and then we have glued them all together and clamped them down. So once they're dry, they can go on. So next I've marked each one, and I'm going to cut the bit off that we don't need on the bottom. Hopefully by the end of the day we will have at least the outer frame of the bed made. So the next bit that I need to do is, obviously once these are dry, bolt them up, measure how wide I need to cut my next panel of wood, and then the end panels will get cut and put in. We also need to figure out where the hooks are going to go for the cables. I think there is likely where it's going to be, but we'll do that once the main frame is in. That is my other option. That is the other option. So it's going to be there, there. Possibly like that. No, probably not. Option 1, option 2. We'll see how it goes. That's all the rails mounted. Front's on, rear's on. I've checked the distance between the tops of the front one, the bottoms of the front ones, and the bottoms of the rear ones to the tops of the rear ones, and they are the same gap perfectly from top to bottom. Same on the front, top to bottom. There's about an, I don't know, 8mm difference between the width of the back and the width of the front, but that in itself doesn't make a difference because I just have to take that into account when cutting the front panel for the bed and the rear panel for the bed, but not the ends. That's the main thing. So now I can get on with starting to cut the bed frames out and starting to assemble the frame of the bed. Both end panels are in. We've fitted some little nylon, I think it is, plastic shims. So to help do two things: fill the space, and God, this is hard to put in with one hand. Fill the space, and to help it guide smoothly up and down the rails. So now that's done, we're going to get the screw over beams from IKEA and work out where they need to go so that the mattress sticks out just enough over the top of the bed, and it gives us enough room underneath for the lift mechanism.
middle beam.
Yeah, we've got 3. They're going to be the edge.
Oh, I'm in the middle. How do we make it stay in shape, in place?
What?
How do we make it stay in?
I'm glad you asked.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? With one of them, where are they going?
These go on here.
My question wasn't that though. Yeah, that's not my question. Do you know how it's a slowly iron in and out? Or how can you not randomly just slide in? If that makes sense. Or would that stop that? Right. Okay.
So we've got to work out how high
We need that.
so that the mattress sticks out higher than the bed but not high enough. And I've just remembered.
You've come into a problem.
What?
A problem.
No, not a problem as such. But this is going to have to be cut down because the mattress is going to go over there, so it means this has to be at the top of this plywood. And I don't want it that high. So I'm going to cut this off where I've done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that your final decision?
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so what I need to work out now is because I want the mattress to go over the top of here, I've got to work out where to put the bracket so that I've got enough gap for where it mounts onto this beam. So that adds height there, and then obviously we've got slats going onto the top of this as well, so we need to account for the height of them, which is
2.
2 what?
I don't know, that 2 there.
Centimetres.
There you go.
Alright, let's add that together. Where do I get this from? I mean, it's definitely not there. There. No? There. There? No. No? There. It's not that. Next!
Oh, God, I didn't know it would do that.
Now, the only thing I've not done is made sure this and that are both exactly the same length that way. They should be pretty close.
Do you mean, oh, from like here to here?
Yeah. And now that makes a difference now because of that, so I might have to... What's my head? How do we do that? Pass me the bean. What do I want to take measure? as the bed. Right, camera died, so we didn't film some of the stuff we did near the end. But the base of the bed frame is now in. The lift mechanism, the main part of it, that is bolted on. We've still got to do the cables, but that's enough for one weekend. That's going to be probably next week now. So I'll just show you what I've done to finish off the video. So, let's zoom out. This is basically what's been done. So we've got the main bed frame with the beams, waiting on the right size slats to come because I ordered the right size, but they sent me ones that are too big. So we've got to wait for them to come. Otherwise, we could have got matched out and put that on. The cables obviously going to have to run down here, under here, onto this mechanism here. So this is a worm gear drive. Rotate that, this bar spins. So the idea is that you'll have cables in each corner. One long cable will run down through some rollers, through this bar and up the other side. As this rotates, the cable gets shorter, the bed will lift up. But we'll finish off doing that next week. So to mount this mechanism, we've ran some ply along, which is screwed through a little block in there. And then at each end, and then these are bolted. Pretty simple, really. These at the minute are only attached with these little blocks here, but once we know that this doesn't have to come off again, we'll probably glue these ends on here as well as this block. If I can, I might put 2 blocks on, but it's quite hard to get to that, so it's strong enough, to be honest with you. It's never going to come off. It's not going to have any weight on it. The slats are going to be on these beams, not on the edges. On this mechanism, it didn't fit. I had to make a couple of modifications. So this pole came out to about here, so I had to cut that off in order to bring that in, and then there was no hole for the bolt, so I had to mark how far back the hole was and drill 2 new holes for that. The bearing on the other end, this stuck out to about here, which is just not necessary, so I've just cut that flush, because this is going to have obviously there's going to be a cabinet here, and then the fridge will be going here, so this is going to have a fascia on it as well that won't move, and then this will just lift up when we operate the bed, obviously. We test fitted the motorbike in here as well, and that fits fine. Handlebars clear that nicely, which I did get a bit worried about, but it's nowhere near at all. The other thing I need to do is order some little metal strips for here, because where it's on the corner it doesn't grip very well, so you can see it starting to bubble up. But I'm going to get some metal trims for there on the corners and along the edge, and then one for this door too when it's finished. That's everything. Again, keep watching along, and we will do part 2 likely next week.